10 NBA players caught cheating on live TV. Their commitment to working out and practicing their shots till the early hours of the morning is what gives NBA players an advantage. And regrettably, cheating is occasionally the answer to that query. Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we will be sharing the moments of when NBA players were caught cheating on live TV. Get ready for some atrocious crimes, perhaps none worse than the last one on our list, as you sit back, unwind, and subscribe to our channel. Let's begin. Number 10. Jared Dudley, who has never been known to leap, is our first subject. He's been quite the NBA nomad throughout his career. He has played for 7 different organizations and 1 in-game for the Suns. He had 2 appearances with Phoenix. When Dudley and his team faced the Lakers, Dudley was getting ready to jump ball Andrew Bynum. Bynum was much taller than Dudley and he had a significant hops advantage. Dudley was aware that he would lose the jump ball. He didn't want to look foolish, he didn't want to lose though. He developed a new plan of action. The referee simply tipped the ball high up and instead of jumping, Dudley sprinted directly after the ball to pass it to a teammate. Quite clever the issue. That is just not permitted, even the broadcasters acknowledged the same sentiment as they spoke. Number 9. This was one of the most well-known moments in NBA playoff history. The Golden State Warriors and San Antonio Spurs square off in Game 1 of the 2017 Western Conference Finals. In the third quarter, Zaza Pachulia closed out a 3-point attempt by Kawhi Leonard. There was no way Zays would make it to Kawhi in time. But he got a case of the shuffling feet in his attempt at some sort of defense. As Kawhi was landing, he shuffled his feet and slid them right underneath him, forcing Kawhi to twist his ankle and be forced to miss the rest of the game. This is not a typical defensive maneuver. It is so obviously not natural, and as a result, a new regulation was established to prevent future incidents of similar nature. As a result of his involvement in the development of the new rule, it is likely the major reason anyone even remembers Gaza. However, you could be asking yourself, hold up, had I seen that before? Number 8. Yes, this is accurate. Due to Bruce Bowen being the inventor of the shuffle feet, you have already witnessed this event. Ironically, he was a Spurs player. Maybe Zaza was simply reasoned that someone should perform the foot shuffling motion if the Spurs were involved in the game. The fact that Bowen used to slide under players' airspace and produce bumpy landings may have been all he was doing, and Bowen engaged in other shady behavior as well. You can dismiss the feet sliding as an accident, nothing major, whatever. A soaring karate strike to the face might be appropriate. Is it appropriate to do this during a basketball game? Rephrase that, please. Does this seem like a reasonable course of action outside of the octagon? The encounter between Bruce Bowen's sneakers and some molars wasn't nice. He has a talent for inserting his foot in awkward places. Number 7. If you can get past the entire cheating aspect of the narrative, the following one is a nice tale. 2 teammates in the story are so close that they would sacrifice anything for one another. Sounds like the beginning of a fun buddy movie. The Milwaukee Bucks, however, were Andrew Bogut and Brandon Jennings. Number 6. You may have heard of football players utilizing sticky chemicals to improve their grip, but what about basketball players? Now that you have, because Houston center Dwight Howard found himself in a tricky predicament during a match between the Houston Rockets and the Atlanta Hawks. In between shots, Paul Millsap is shooting free throws. Dwight enters the game as a result of a Rockets substitution. Before the ball is handed back to Millsap, he gets a free for it as in prepares to play. Millsap is not though. He says, "Yuck, what is the ball made of?" The officials concluded that Dwight put a sticky material in his hands without permission, which would then transfer to the ball. They warned him that no harm had been done. Dwight was therefore given a free pass and afterward made sure to say, "I've been taking that thing for years. What are you doing, Dwight? They released you. Do you intend to cause trouble?" Number 5. Prepare for the hero in part 1 of the Huddle Invaders. Rajon Rondo may be viewed as a friend or foe, depending on how you interpret the events. Perhaps when you consider Rondo, you also quickly recall the interval between Draymond Green's free throws. Rub the ball with his perspiring head. Gross. But not exactly what we had in mind, even though their interplay is not unimportant. No, as far as we know, it's not against the law to use your sweat rag as a basketball, but Rondo has a reputation for doing whatever it takes to get on his opponent's nerves and gain the upper hand. Like when he was at Boston and persisted in repeatedly bargaining into the Miami Heat's huddle. Like he was unstoppable. He had to be pushed away repeatedly. Did he learn anything important? Number 4. Invasion of a different team. Huddle might help you learn something, or perhaps it will just irritate your defender, or perhaps it will be used to exact revenge. We hope the sight of Rondo whipping his sweaty face all over the ball in between Draymond's foul shots has been permanently etched in your mind. Draymond bookmarked that particular instance, not because we want you to be tormented by that image. He also noted the instance when Rondo entered huddles. So it's Pelican huddle time in a game between Draymond's Warriors and Rondo's Pelicans. And Draymond shows up. Revenge tastes good. Fighting fire with fire is the same as fighting cheating with cheating. The successful sequel's Draymond Head, Huddle Invaders Part 2, and he is doing out a generous and healthy dose of this medication to Rondo and the rest of New Orleans. Number 3. Wait a second, do you mean to tell me that Huddle Invaders has the third installment? How long will this franchise continue? We certainly hope not for that much longer, for the sake of Huddles and everyone else who huddles in the NBA. But it appeared that this was a continuation of the retaliation. Draymond had a plan for Rondo, but Steph Curry ended up getting the upper hand. Curry believed that Rondo still needed to receive a dosage of his own medicine. Rondo is currently with the Lakers and is a quick huddle with Lonzo Ball. Why are you unaware of it too? Here comes Steph's ear, pointing to the two liquid guards' mouths in an attempt to pick up some words. If he can, Steph seeks an advantage, or perhaps he just wants to irritate Rondo more. Or perhaps Steph is taking a little revenge on Lonzo after Lonzo's father once said out loud that Steph would be destroyed by Lonzo. Who has the last laugh in this situation? Number 2, our second spot on the list is set aside for all the losers. Yes, since flopping constitutes cheating, make the rep you do. Say a foul should have occurred but didn't. Your opponent commits an unjustified foul and you could score unjustified points. We can only hope that the new rules will make flopping in the NBA obsolete. But while we wait, let's take a look at some of the greatest flops ever. Mark is intelligent and a habitual flopper. Sometimes as he flops erratically, he even appears to be being electrified in the air. Joel Embiid appears to be made of paper despite being a huge man. He appears to be flying away from any interaction. Even your son LeBron with all of his muscles can't prevent a slight collision from sending his body hurtling across the floor. Number 1, there are numerous instances of on-court cheating by players, and you would think that once they stop playing, it stops, wouldn't you? Not in the instance of Jason Kidd, who immediately began coaching after quitting playing. Additionally, he was the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets team that included Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and others. The kid had a clever trick on his sleeve. This occurred during a contest with the Lakers. The Lakers are standing at the free throw line with the game almost over. There are around 8 seconds left, and the kid's Nets were out of timeouts. The child must devise a play, yet how? Then it dawns on him. He instead yells, "Hit me!" Kid called for one of his teammates to run into him so he could put his acting lessons from high school to use and squirm about losing his cup of ice. Stop the game right away to clear up the mess. The kid can drop a 3-point play for Pierce during that period. So sneaky, so forbidden. Did it succeed? Pierce made a mistake, the Nets lost, and Jason Kidd wasn't able to finish his ice-filled drink. Man, it was a depressing day all across Brooklyn. When these players become tired of playing, the cheating even continues. Additionally, some of the maneuvers that these guys have tried out are quite peculiar. Don't forget to like and share this video, and we'll be back soon with another video. See you soon.